If the universe is infinite, if you go sufficiently far out into space, you're virtually guaranteed to find a copy of yourself out there, and a copy of the Earth out there, and a copy of our galaxy out there. It's virtually impossible to imagine a universe that goes on infinitely far and doesn't repeat. In fact, I see a prop here. I can sort of tell you why, right? So here's a deck of cards, right? And I think it's a new deck. Yeah. So everything is in order, right? It's all perfectly ordered like that. Now, if I was to take this deck of cards and I start to shuffle it, right? So, I'm not a particularly good shuffler, but, you get the basic idea. I keep shuffling, and of course, the order changes every time, right? So if I now, I'm not a great shuffler, so there are probably still, some things that are still, in numerical order, but it's more mixed up than it was before, and I can keep on doing this. Now, sooner or later, if I continue to shuffle these cards over and over and over and over and over and over again, sooner or later, it will get back to the completely ordered arrangement. Why? Because there aren't enough different arrangements to go around, right? That idea applies in the universe in the following way. In any region of space, there are particles. Those particles can be arranged in a variety of different ways. Here they're arranged so that you and I are sitting at this table and we got the cameras and everything. This is just a particle arrangement. There are only a finite number of arrangements of particles in a given region of space. This you can establish from the laws of quantum physics. So if you go out far enough in space, region by region by region, the particles will have different arrangements, but they have to repeat, much like the order of the cards has to repeat. So there has to be a place out there. In fact, if it goes on infinitely far, if you imagine that I shuffle these cards infinitely many times, I'll get that nice ordered arrangement infinitely many times too. Similarly, there are infinitely many copies of you, of me, of everything we're familiar with out there in the cosmos. And so if the universe is infinite, it kind of challenges a little bit our sense of self, right? Like, what does it mean to be who you are if there are other versions of you having the exact same thoughts? They had the same childhood. They had the same history because, again, that's just an arrangement of particles over time, and it has to repeat.
There's a version out there of me that just loves wine.
There you go, right? In fact, it's even easier, I should say, for the particle arrangement to almost, but not quite exactly replicate what we're familiar with, which would mean there's a universe out there in which you and I are interchanged, or you grew up in New York City and I grew up because those are, again, almost replications. You got the Earth, you got the sun, but the detailed particle arrangement is close to, but not identical to what we are used to. So yeah, an infinite universe brings in some fairly strange ideas.